What is up, everybody? In this video we're going to be talking about ugly running shoes. Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to FORDY Runs. Now, did you see the first video out of these two, which was it the prettiest running shoes or the most beautiful running shoes? I can't remember what I called the video, but this is the second part. This is the flip side of the first video. Now, in that first video, if you've not seen it, check it out. I spoke about how awesome running shoes look, and I spoke about my three favourite sort of aesthetically pleasing running shoes, and I picked three shoes that from my current collection that I just absolutely love, because I think running shoe design is come on so much, and you look back at where they were and where they are now, there's some absolute cracking shoes out there, and I wanted your opinion on that, and thank you very much to everybody who commented on that video. I really do appreciate it, and the input, and that's the point. That video was all about your input, and so is this video. This video is all about your running shoes that maybe you bought and you think, man, that is ugly, but you still bought it, or shoes that you didn't buy because you thought, geez, that is such an ugly looking shoe. And this is the thing, right? The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And just because I think something is awesome, you might think it looks terrible. Just because I think something looks terrible, you might think it looks awesome. So it is all opinion, and that's what's so amazing about the world in which we live in. And I really want your opinion on the worst looking running shoes out there. You don't have to own them, but just let me know in the comments. Let's start a massive conversation down there and find out what running shoes are the ugliest out there now, out there present, out there past, whatever, right? So yeah, I've picked three shoes out of my sort of current collection that really, I think, and one of them's actually quite controversial, I think actually aren't that good looking. Okay, here it is, the Nike Miler 2. Now, this is the second incarnation of this shoe. Now, for me, and I said it in the video, this shoe was purchased because to wear for coaching and things like that, to do a bit of running in and things like that. But it's more of a shoe that I use as a utility shoe, I would say. I did a video about shoes that, you know, work for me just because I do multiple things in them. Check that video out. But I have to say, I still think this is one of the ugliest looking shoes. It looks like a platypus. Look at it. It really is an ugly looking shoe, I think. It's just got bits chucked on it all over the place. The lacing looks terrible in terms of the aesthetics of it, and it's got these like bulbous bits around the side. I hate this from Nike, where they do this with the midsoles and they put this sort of, I don't know, what's the best way to describe that? Lumps and bumps in the midsole around here. They did it with like the Epic React and stuff like that. I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. I prefer a much cleaner line. But look at it, look, it just looks cheap, and I don't know, people. It really is an ugly looking shoe. Now, my second choice, may split opinion. The third one, I'm sure you'll disagree. But the second one is this. And now this is the On Running Cloud Echo Boom. I actually like the shoes. And by the way, there's nothing against the performance of these shoes, okay? We're not talking about performance today. We're talking about aesthetics. Now, I don't really like the look of this shoe. I'm not a big fan of On Running shoes in terms of how they look. I like On Running shoes in terms of how they feel, but I don't like the way they look. Does that make any sense? Let me know in the comments, do you like the look of On Running shoes? I don't like all the lumps and bumps of it. I don't know, there's just something about this upper. The laces they don't suit the shoe. I don't know, there's just something about this. It just seems to be sort of stuck together in places. It's like a bit of Lego. Does that make any sense? Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this shoe? I think this shoe needs to be like black and silver. Do you know what I mean? Like a black upper with like this bit in silver, so it doesn't look as odd, like I say, like a bit of Lego. I think the colour makes a huge difference to a shoe. That's a really interesting point for you. Let me know in the comments, how much do you think the colourway makes a difference in the shoe? I think it makes a huge difference, because some shoes can look like this, but if you stuck this in black and then like change this to like silver and stuff like that, I think it could look a lot better than it does. It just looks a bit disjointed, and it's not, I don't know, it's, as a carbon racer, I want something that's going to look fast. It doesn't even look fast. So yeah, this was the sort of second pick on my list. stand by people, because you may or may not agree with this, but my third choice in terms of ugly shoes, right, is this, the AlphaFly. Now, stop. Before you go into those comments and rant and rave at me, I am a massive fan of the AlphaFly. I wore this over a marathon, was it 1 or 2 marathons? I can't remember. And I wore my second pair over 2 marathons as well. So in terms of the actual shoe, I love it. But it is so ugly. Don't you think it's ugly? I just think in terms of ugliness, it is up there. It just looks so random and so out there. I wonder in 10 years in time when we look back and we go, what on earth were we wearing? You know, look at it, look, just like bits of air zoom pods at the front of it. It's such a bizarre looking shoe. This massive slab of Zoom X at the back. I think it's made worse in this colour. I deliberately picked this colourway out because I actually think it makes it look worse in terms of how it looks with this shoe versus like the white versions. There's Hayden was wearing them. There's like a white and pink one. Actually, aesthetically, they look a lot better than this. But I just think this is so ugly in terms of how it looks. What do you think, people? Do you think it looks ridiculous or do you think it looks awesome? But for me, I love the AlphaFly, but in terms of looks, I think it's one of the ugliest shoes out there. So let me know in the comments, people, what are your ugliest shoes? The shoe I was talking about, and I forgot to get it out of the garage, is the Vomero. I think the new Vomero is awful. Absolutely awful in terms of the way it looks. It's just like being strung together on the back of a cigarette packet. They've gone, oh yeah, that'll do, colour that bit in and off you go. It was the Vomero was the other shoe. But there's some absolute, that's the right word, mingers out there in terms of shoes. I'm not a big fan of Brooks. I think if you're new to the channel, basically, over the past couple of months, I've been hammering Brooks because all their shoes look the same and they're all from like 1987. But Brooks running shoes, I just think apart from the Catamount and the Hyperion Tempo, the rest of the shoes, jog on. Some of the basic ASICS shoes, terrible looking shoes. You know, the GT2000 is borderline ugly, but they're just, some of them are so clunky and horrible. Some of the New Balance shoes are terrible looking things. What else have we got in terms of naming and shaming? I think some of the Ultra shoes, ALTRA, look terrible. Now this is going to be really controversial, right? The Speed 2, when the Speed 2 and the Pro 2 came out with that checkered upper, I thought they looked terrible. And I didn't buy them. If you've seen any of the videos, I bought the blue colourway. Because that upper just looked awful. I don't know what Saucony were thinking with the checkered thing. And the shift, oh my life, the shift looked terrible. I thought when that came out, I thought, what have they done to the shift? But yeah, that was a big no-no for me in terms of aesthetics. I mean, I love, you know by now, right? I love the Speed, but that upper was just, yeah, no, it was a no-go. But yeah, so my point is let me know in the comments, what are your ugliest running shoes? What ugly running shoes are out there? It's a bit of a laugh, this video, a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, a bit of a random thing to talk about. But I wanted to follow up from where I was thinking about, you know, the other day about the nice-looking shoes and all that kind of stuff. I thought it'd be cool just to reverse it, flip it on its head, and do the ugliest shoes. So I can't wait when this video drops to jump into the comments and see what you guys are thinking about ugly shoes. I think it's quite funny and I can't wait to see what you come up with.